Hello, today we're going to do a little bit larger grid than what we have been doing. So on this, the same square size is here, and there are more details than what we had been doing. So what I've already went ahead and done is broke some of the things down that would help you see. So if you break things down in half, like what I've done here, this would help us see where the position of the toes would be for the frog. I would also divide the line in half going through here. So I could see it's touching now where I divided it in half, so that would help me see that the toe's going to go here. We could also do vertical ones. So I would also do a vertical here, and that would help me see that's where the intersection of where the toe changes direction. So I would be going up here and then back around. Other places I've noticed where details are to help get the correct position. So if I look at 6, 8, so here's 6 and then 8, I divide this in half. And then that would help me see where I need to have this curved line going. It's touching a corner of intersecting grid lines, but up here it was in the middle, but I wasn't quite for sure. So by dividing it in half and then fourth again, it's helping me see the placement of where the line needs to start and stop. The same way with here. It's intersecting in the original grid line, so it's here, but I could have it all the way down here and it would be wrong. So by dividing things in half, I would then know where that arch is. And because these are practice ones, you can leave the lines on these and you don't need to erase your extra lines when doing them. So you can also see I divided this in half on the 7 and the 6 here, and I did this. So you can see what a lot of students do is they just draw this little bee fly guy and they just make it too large. So by doing these at the halfway lines here and here, that's telling me, oh, I have this wing way too large because it's not up here touching anything. And this wing is actually at the halfway point right here. Also, the body of the fly is not touching this at all. It is more in this section. So by dividing things in half, it would help me see placements. So here I did another vertical line that would help me see where the toe of the frog is. Dividing it in half and say even fourth right in this section would help me see where the tongue placement is. So I could tell, oh, it changes directions right at halfway, and then it's following the curve down and around to the bottom, and then it's not touching here at the halfway, it's touching up a little bit higher. So I'm gonna have it come up and around this way. And then, you know, placement of the little dots of the eyeball would help by dividing them in half. The next page, and turn it this way. This one, it gets a lot larger. So you can see how I started dividing things in half just so I could find the placement. So this would be the placement of the frog's face right here. If I would divide this number 2 in half and in fourth, that would help me find the toe. Divide just the one column right here in half, that would help find the placement of the other toes. And then the same with other places. Dividing things in half always help. You could cover it up with Post-it notes to help work. If you don't have that, you could use another piece of paper to help see, so you could then only work in those sections and up here. The next page we have, we're gonna get even larger with our picture. So you have this picture that is drawn for you, tear it off, and then you will draw it on the back page. So for this, there's a lot of open space, and it gets kind of confusing of where maybe you should draw stuff or not. So just by putting some X's there, that's helped me realize, okay, this is the section I'm not going to draw anything in at all. Also, because it's a larger picture, I was still dividing things in halves and fourths, so it would help me find the placement of where the details of the legs would be. Up here, I would divide the little toes. I'd divide it up here so I could help find the placement of eyes. So this is 5, so I went in 5 to divide it in half going across. And then in 5 here, and do 5 there. So that would help me see where the circle part of the eye is. So I'm not drawing it too large, say all the way up here, and I'm not drawing it all the way down here. So if we look, it's just barely touching here. It's then going up and around. And I'm drawing little sketchy lines just so I can go back and then make them nicer lines and draw in pencil, not ink pen like I'm doing, and that would help me get the placements better. And you could make little points for intersection of the dots if you wanted. You can even divide it even more into 4s, and that would help me see where the arch of this is going to start going. And that's all we have for this packet. So we're working on making things larger and looking at more details in our drawings when we're doing the grids. Thank you for watching.